Hello, everybody. Well, I hit 325. I was gonna do one at 320, but it kept going, so, um, I just want to say thank you. But I want to do a little bit more this time, because, usually I just say thank you and what the plans are for the future, but, I don't feel like I properly said what I wanted to say um, to Christopher Nelson. Um, I made it short because I was nervous and I didn't want to take up too much time. But I mean, because some of the things I said aren't, inherently true. You know, not everybody who's making these YouTube videos now were all influenced by um, Christopher Nelson, right? Like there are plenty of people who started making videos that had no idea that Christopher Nelson even existed. Like two Star Wars nerds or the Revanchist. You know, I don't even know if Noah started making videos because of them or not. I don't actually know that. But what I do know is the influence as a whole on the entire EU community and fandom that Christopher Nelson and people like Matt Wilkins have had. And to another extent, like Scott Johnson. Maybe he's like the unofficial third part of the Holy Trinity of the EU. I don't know. But no matter who, however you got into the EU community, eventually you learned of these names. Eventually you will have learned of Matt Wilkins or Christopher Nelson. And that's the point. Before any of us, us younger fans, um, we might, some people like Marcel might have been fans of the EU, but weren't really making YouTube videos. I don't know what he saw on YouTube prior to us all interacting, but it was yours, Christopher Nelson, if you're watching, um, and Matt's contributions to the fandom through the internet, whether that be through the Expanding Universe website, which, just to make clear, Christopher Nelson was in charge of the Expanding Universe website, um, but due to life, Matt Wilkins has taken kind of more of the leadership role, but it was originally Christopher Nelson. So in case there's any confusion about that, that was how it was. Um, but it was because of you guys that the community as it is today really exists. Yes, not everybody may have watched you, but like Marcel, I don't know if he knew of you, Marcel or Matt, but he came on my stream, and at that point I already knew about you guys. So already the way I live, not live my life, I guess, but the way I orient myself on the internet, I mean, it's not completely the same, but my attitude and behavior, I don't always succeed. I fail because I'm human, but I try to emulate. I try to have my own persona, my own charisma, or whatever, but still the like more jokey persona that I sometimes give off because there's genuine me, and then there's, being the funny me because I'm trying to make a point, like with the Jedi Academy trilogy, or whatever. That's more influenced by Matt, which I know is just being himself, but he's this, in the EU fandom. I know it's kind of like funny to say, but he's kind of like this larger than life guy, even though he's just some dude that talks about Star Wars on his free time. He's still like this kind of like figure to us in the EU movement, like this guy. He's got this charisma, this personality. So kind of take that kind of aspect from him, whereas the more level-headed, the more rational, and the way you talk in which you just can't help but listen. I don't have as soothing a voice as Christopher Nelson, but my attitude in the fandom and how I try to leave that perception to everyone else is large part in due to Christopher Nelson. And again, like I said, Marcel Ryan, revanchist, he met me, we started talking, and then he found out about you guys. Or I don't know if he knew about it. I think he found out after the fact. I could be wrong. But the point is that all of us, in some way, shape, or form, whether directly or indirectly, have been affected by you. And I know you're leaving for a time, but large part due to this channel, or due to your channel, this channel has grown, whether through people that have watched you and Matt that have found me or whatever. So indirectly, directly, regardless, it is all thanks to you and Matt and others like Dylan and Scott Johnson and other people that the community as it has become now exists. So that should be the most important part to me about the EU fandom post decanonization. That should have been the. I mean, obviously that would have sounded arrogant, but I'm not you, so I can say it. Um, the EU fandom as it stands today in 2023 would not exist without you, without you guys. And so I just want to say thank you for the hours of entertainment, from the willingness to converse back and forth, despite being busy with lives. Obviously, it's hard to. I never try to take it too personally if somebody can't respond right away. And whenever I send something, I never actually expect a response right away anyway. I expect like 2 to 3 business days is usually what I expect a reply. Just because, I leave the lowest expectation, so if it comes earlier, I'm surprised. But I will never be able to express fully what you guys mean to me in this fandom. But I hope in some small way, I hope you understand just how important you are. And, outside of that, you guys are fathers, doing important stuff with life, Doesn't matter what your job is, doesn't matter that you're not the president of the world or this super famous actor or anything. You guys are contributing something far more valuable than I have. Um, so same thing with Marcel and everything, but he's like a smaller YouTuber like me. So, but still, he's a father as well. Any fathers, you are all doing God's work, whether you believe in that or not. Just the sentiment, you guys are doing good stuff. Um, but yeah, just Matt, Chris, Dylan, Brian Borg. I haven't really interacted with him, but still, he's a big important figure in the fandom due to helping being in charge. I don't know if he's in charge, but a large head in the Twin Sons Foundation. And I just want to thank you because I watched you guys for quite a few years before I actually started interacting with you, at least with a face or with a voice. Um, so I just wanted to say thank you for that. You guys mean more to me than you will ever know. So, um, if my family and friends and the God that I believe in are like the standard for how I live my life on the day to day, you guys are the examples I live by as now this semi micro celebrity in the fandom. And I discussed this elsewhere. This will most likely be uploaded before my series on the Expanding Universe website, but I discussed something similar there too with attitudes within the fandom, how best to act within that fandom. And so I try very hard because everybody has bad days. Everybody's imperfect, but I try my best to remain level-headed. I try my best to be positive and to be kind, um, no matter what, and to be civil, because he's not going to listen to the Lucasfilm's not going to listen to a bunch of angry people. You're not going to get new fans with a bunch of angry people. The way you get through anything, the way you get more people to get into the EU, the more you get Lucasfilm to listen, the more you get, whether it be outside of that with religious stuff, is through love. You show love. That way, even if you disagree with someone on whatever, they know 100% that you disagree with them on this issue, but they should never doubt your love for them that you have for them. Um, and it's a fine line to tread, hard to always stay consistent, but it is something we should all strive for. Especially if you're going to make videos on the internet, if you are trying to support the EU movement, you have taken on a bigger role than, it doesn't matter how big your channel is, you are taking on a bigger role than simply commenting on a video, because then you're nameless, you're faceless, it doesn't matter. But the moment you are making content, I feel, maybe it's thanks to Spider-Man, you have a responsibility. Maybe not a great one, but you have a responsibility to act a certain way. I try to uphold that. Not to get too personal, but that's another thing with me that I'm always afraid of. Because I'm one person, and the more people that subscribe, the more people that get to know me, the harder it becomes to talk to everybody. It's hard. I try. I want to give equal amount of time to everybody and show them that I care. But you have work, you have friends and family, other stuff. You talk to this person on the internet, you talk to this person, talk to this person, and you try to maintain friendships. You try to maintain the truth that you care about them, about all of them. But it's hard to remain consistent with all of that because you just can't devote equal amount of times to everybody. It's impossible. And that's something I struggle with because I don't know if I don't know psychology. I don't really care about psychology. I don't care about it for myself, even though I probably should, but I don't. Um, People pleaser, I guess you could call it. I try my best to please everyone. I want to make everybody happy, but sometimes it's just not possible. Um, and sometimes I'm imperfect, and that makes somebody unhappy. And it's just like I'm trying so hard to remain this pillar of light, and to shine that through to everybody. But there are off days, just days where you just can't. And so it's always a struggle, but I hope that I've shown enough through my actions in various forms of the internet that I do love all of you. Um, to varying degrees, obviously, because you're not like a family. I don't know you personally, or at least I don't know you in person, so it's harder to, there's that disconnect. Some of you, I've seen your faces, I've talked to you through voice chat, or I've talked to you on live streams. There's a greater connection there than to just a bunch of pictures on a Discord server, but I try to show that I care. Um, and sometimes I'll fail, sometimes I'll be arrogant, sometimes I'll be a jerk, but I try to be 99% of the time not that. Um, but know that my intentions are always pure. And I just want to say that I'm thankful for the people that have followed. For 325 people, it's crazy. Whether it keeps growing, it doesn't matter. I'm doing this for the fun of it, but I appreciate everybody who's here. And I appreciate the people who got me here. Did I start YouTube videos because of Matt and Chris? No, I've been doing YouTube videos since like 2013. Were they good? No. But I've been making them for a long time. Did I even start making my reviews because of them? Not really. I knew about Matt already, but that's not why I started making videos. I started making videos because I was bored. And I was like, let's just review it, because why not? But everything that this fandom isn't due to them. And this fandom has become so much more over the past couple months of this last year because of others. Marcel has joined, making probably some of the more unique Star Wars Expanded Universe content because, surprise, surprise, nobody else decided to do that, which is to make short story audiobooks. I mean, frick ever reading it again. I have Marcel. What do I need the short stories for now? I could just listen to his soothing voice talk, you know? Or we got Quillen Voss with his reads through and his, interesting lore videos and soda videos as well. Like Brennan, top tier guy. Only Good Games with his topical videos and whatnot. All very great stuff. Two Star Wars nerds with their prequel love and everything, which is great because there's a lot of prequel hate, especially on the internet. So it's like the one light when it comes to that stuff. Um, and so many more to name. You know, uh, I don't really know him that well, but Holocron Keeper Evan, he's a big proponent of trying to fit the TCW into the Clone Wars multimedia project, and all the power to him. I remember back in the day when he would have all these freaking graphs and charts out trying to do all that. It was crazy, but he's an older guy too. Not older, but like he's been doing this for a couple of years now. Evan Noah with his Versus series and his topical videos, like those are great. Eckhart's Ladder is not solely an EU YouTuber, but he has talked about it, and he's probably the biggest channel to discuss it. So, you know, many more channels named Titus. He hasn't made that much, but he has made a few videos. He's been on Brennan live streams and stuff. And of course, Quality Autism, despite our obvious disagreements, still he's been a big voice in the fandom too. And everybody has their idiosyncrasies and their personalities and their tastes and their dislikes, yada yada yada. It's what makes a fandom interesting. We don't have to agree on everything. We can still like one another. We can still be respectful to one another, which is the goal. I'll never hate on somebody for liking Disney. I'll be honest with you. I'll be completely honest with you. I will subscribe to you. That's the sole thing if you talk about the EU. If you talk about EU and canon, I'm subbing to you. I'm skipping every video that you talk about canon, though. I'll like it to give you support. I'm not sharing it, though, because I don't want more people. I don't want people thinking that I care about that stuff, and I have no interest in it, so I'm not going to watch it. I'll just be dead honest about that. But as long as you support the EU, I will support you. Simple as that. We are all Star Wars fans. Doesn't matter if you like, even if you only like Disney canon, I can support you, but I'm probably not going to subscribe simply because I don't want to. I don't want to watch any content with that. It's just gonna go on my feed and never be watched. So what's the point, right? I can be like, yo, good job on that stuff, you know. But we're all Star Wars fans. We're all here. We all love the Star Wars universe, whether it be canon, expanded universe, the movies, TV shows. Doesn't matter. We're all fans. We have our likes and our dislikes. You have Bounty Hunter Wars, Noah with anything Denning. But that's what makes us interesting. We can have our different beliefs, our different takes, our different, it makes discussions more fun. But all this to say, this really long thank you video, is that the people got us here, I love you. To the people who got me here, I love you. And to anybody else in the future, I love you. That may sound superficial because I don't really know all of you super well. You're right. But you all matter to me. In varying forms of degrees, obviously. But I'm glad you're here. I'm assuming if you're here, you like the expanded universe. And if that's the case, let's continue to love. Love it. Let's continue to spread, whether it be a review or showing EU toys or talking about promos like Christopher Nelson, or just being a live stream where you guys are talking back and forth about whatever. Whether it be Filoni, whether it be Tales of the Jedi, whether it be Legacy of the Force, whether it be New Jedi Order, whether it be about who's the most powerful this, who's the most powerful that. It doesn't matter. You are generating discussion and love for the EU. And so keep at it. Keep doing that. And perhaps one day, before I turn to be Matt Wilkins and Christopher Nelson's age, perhaps we will get more EU. And wouldn't that be the dream, right? It's definitely too early to go to F canon tier where we just allow fan fiction to determine everything. But if it gets to that point one day, we can discuss it then. But no matter what, whether it be we have a council of fans that dictate what can be accepted or not, or we get an official thing from Lucasfilm, which is probably more likely and more hopefully the case. Let's just keep sticking with it. It's never too hopeless. It's not too far gone. Darth Vader was thought to be gone. Obi-Wan and Yoda just wanted him dead. But Luke persisted. Vader was redeemed. Keep persisting. The EU can be redeemed. And with that, I'll leave you. Thank you for 325 subscribers. If you get more, hallelujah. If we don't, it's okay. What matters is that no matter what, whether it's me you're watching or somebody else better than me, make sure you continue to love the EU. Love it, love it, love it. Critique it when necessary, but love the expanded universe. Always show that love. Always show that devotion and care. Because that is the only way that we will ever get a continued universe. Thank you all so much for watching. Till next time. See you.